Well. Welcome to Gavin Games, everybody, for December 12th. The holiday season is in full swing. No, it's the 13th. It's the 13th today. Good God. No, there was no dramatic pause. I was muted. I don't have a producer. What do you want from me? Listen to me, fellas. That was Alex Plox, our very own Alex Plox. His new album is called Cosmic Cruise. He's one of our God of War members. He opens and closes the show almost every day. And that song was called Hideaway. It's good stuff. He's on the link tree. Check him out. Alex Plox. Okay. Oh, you missed the crack. The can crack. Crack. There it goes. Sorry about that. I'll add it in post. Fellas, we got a relatively short show today. I am doing a guest speaking gig over with the guys who make the Pokemon Go games. I believe that's their company. And they said, hey, Jaffe, come talk to the team, some of the team. And I'm like, well, I will, but I haven't made games in a long time and shit. I mean, I'm working on something right now. And they said, no, just come on. It'll be fun. I said, all right. So I'm doing that at 4 o'clock, which means we got about 90 minutes to get through the news, to cohabit. That's the wrong verb. To hang out as pals do here on the Gabbin' in the Games. I appreciate you being here, everybody. Welcome. Let me get to some very quick. Oh yeah, Taylor Swift's birthday was yesterday, not today. It was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. She's 33. She's getting old enough soon that she can marry me. There's been a date change, but we are officially locked in. The Gabbin' Games crew will be going head to head with Colin Moriarty's Last Media Standing crew. 6 p.m. it will be streamed in Call of Duty. It will be Dustin leading his band of Merry Fucksticks, and it'll be me and Rob and Spaz, and I think we have the other 3 slots filled, but go on over to the Discord if you're a member and you want to sign up to be one of the Call of Duty players. We're going to play a bunch of matches and show them what's what and who the best Call of Duty, I don't fucking know what we're doing, but it's going to be fun. That's coming up Monday at 6. And then this weekend is Pot and Popcorn for members only. Christmas Bloody Christmas is one of the movies. Barbarian's going to get slotted out. We're going to put something else in that the members vote on. I thought that was it, but they don't want to see that, so we're going to put something else in there. That will be coming up this Saturday at 4 p.m. Okay. What have you been playing, fellas? I know High on Life is out. High on Life, I was talking to Spazbo last night. He was playing it on the stream, and I said, well, what do you think? I want to say he gave it like a 7, but he may not have rated it, but he said it's really good. He says it's a really solid, good first-person shooter. I guess if the humor is not for you, understandably, it may not be for you. I've downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I'm still obsessing with Call of Duty. I started playing Chained Echoes, very little playtime. I got through the prologue. If you don't know, Chained Echoes launched a couple of weeks ago. It's on Game Pass. You can also buy it on a bunch of other systems. It is, as people say, the spiritual successor to Chrono Trigger, and I think that's absolutely true from what I've played so far. It's good. It's absolutely good, but so far it doesn't feel like it's good like, wow, they've taken the classic 90s Square RPG Super Nintendo formula and they've turned it on its head. It feels like you've gone back in time and you're playing a game from that era. And that's not bad. So far, it's very well paced. It's interesting. It plays a little bit story-wise with what your expectations are. So it's good stuff. I highly recommend it. And again, you're only talking, it's quote free on Game Pass. Come at me, you fucks. It's free on Game Pass, and you can play it right now. It's called Chained Echoes, but I will be getting to High on Life probably today or tomorrow because I do want to play it and I do want to give it a shot and see what is what. Okay, so listen, let's talk about a little bit of game news. Oh, Sweet Tooth ain't wrong. Sweet Tooth says there's so many games to play. I'm still trying to finish God of War. I'm still trying to finish Elden Ring. My understanding is I have one giant boss to fight that I haven't been able to kill, which is some troll fire guy in the snow. And then after that, I get to the final dungeon and I'm done. So, I'm looking forward to sinking some time back into that and finally finish it. The fire giant one. That's right. Dwayne Foy, hello, buddy. He says he installed No Man's Sky yesterday. He's enjoying it. I have never played it. I hear it has come a long cockadoodie goddamn way, and I'm glad you're digging it. Drive By says, hey, what about Choo Choo Charles? I will be playing Choo Choo Charles this week on stream. I just don't know. When, basically. Okay. And listen to me. I'm not going to get on a big thing about games being too long, too short, whatever. Everybody has an opinion on that. What I will say is, even just looking at the chat right now, I absolutely can. Everyone's like, there's too many games. There's too many games. I still have to finish this. Whatever you think about the length of games and value and all that horseshit, whatever. Everybody's opinion is valid. But I will tell you that as a guy who not just games a lot, but watches a lot of television and movies, I so wish I could. I wish games didn't take as long as they did. I really do. Not because I don't like playing them, but because I want to see more stuff. I want to experience more stuff. And it's just, games take too long now. I mean, Call of Duty, I finished the campaign, Modern Warfare 2, which I enjoyed very much. And then I've been playing, I think well over 100 hours of multiplayer. And that's where my time is going. JW Conglomerate is saying a cab said in the chat, I finished 54 games this year. You think that's a good number? JW says 54 in 1 year is insane. I don't think that there should be a concept of a good number or a bad number. I think that's part of the problem. It shouldn't feel like a achievement. You never hear anybody saying, hey, I watched Money Train last night, or whatever the fucking thing it's called. I finished it. Whoa, good job. You watched 8 movies. I mean, it's just, it's kind of crazy when you see how games have evolved on some multiverse somewhere. Somewhere. There is a world where video games evolved with a different business model where they are able to be finished in 1 to 2 sittings and people play a hell of a lot more. Like Mutmo says, it should not feel like a quota. I agree 100%. Okay. Yeah, King of the North says, I find it tough to play more than 2 to 3 games at a time. I think most people do. I'm still trying to get back to Midnight Suns, which I love. Sex 69 Fun wants you to know that if you head on over to her neck of the woods, she'll probably fuck up your credit card and put a virus on your computer. But that said, you can feel like a pretty girl's talking to you. Jonay says, did you finish Evil West? I did not. Hey, there's Jojo D. Jojo D, I hope you're going to be joining us for the movie this weekend, Pot and Popcorn. Ricardo, hey, buddy, he says, I guess these are his favorites of the year. You know what? I'm not going to read that because we're going to be doing a Gabbin' and Games member favorites, and I will invite you to send those in on a video so I can make them part of the show.
Great fighting. You're an up-and-coming boxer.
Poor Degenerate says, hey, Jaffe, show us your PlayStation wrap-up. I will. It's part of this very show. In fact, I have to remember. I got to set a timer. So, Alexa, set a timer for 68 minutes. Because I want to make sure that I get to this. I already missed it. I did it this morning with the, I was scheduled this morning to have the talk with the Pokemon Go developers. And then it turned out that, I got all kind of fucked up and I wasn't able to make it because I kind of forgot. So I can't miss it this time. Hey, 616, good to see you, buddy. These fuckers never put a link out so I can sign up, says Rob. I know. I don't understand. He wants to sign up and meet all the pretty girls. I understand. Okay, here we go. Let's move forward. PlayStation 4 news, or actually, I should say PlayStation 4 Spider-Man. That particular one is officially now in the new Spider-Man movie Across the Spider-Verse, which is, of course, the sequel to the great Into the Spider-Verse, right? He is appearing in there. I guess I guess Marvel has already come out and said, hey, this guy's canon anyway. The video game Spider-Man or the comic, the Insomniac Spider-Man, I think they said he's part of Earth like 1048 or whatever. So he is in the game. And then someone else pointed this out. This was Tom Percival. who I guess is an editor and film critic, he said, hey, there's also the PS1 Spider-Man hiding in the trailer. So if you look at your screen right now, he circled it. There is a very low polygon version of Spidey in the trailer that just came out today. So that's kind of cool as well. I mean, the only problem with Marvel at this point, and DC does it too, is the multiverse is cool and I like it, but it really does. It's a get out of jail free card. So if they want to bring back, for example, if they want to bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, easy, right? His death really kind of meant nothing. I mean, it was a great movie. It was a great movie moment. But all you got to do is say, how many Doctor Stranges were there played by Benedict Cumberbatch in the last one? Just have Doctor Strange go search the metaverse and find us the Tony that's closest to ours. We need that brain here on our Earth to do something. And then there's a whole Iron Man 4, which is about them searching for the right Tony to bring to our world to save it. I mean, and that's the problem with the metaverse. But, it's fine. I still love him. I'm still a big fan. Yes, there was a Fortnite Spider-Man as well that we will see. I don't understand. Ricardo says, Jaffe, have you seen what HBO is doing? Disgusting. Oh my, is it positively filthy? I'm going to look it up real quick. I know that's not video game news, but it's media news and I'm interested. HBO Max. Let's just see what's happening. Let's go to the news. Westworld and the Nevers pulled off. Meaning they pulled it away from HBO Max. Why? Did they say, is that what you're saying is disgusting? Westworld and the Nevers are high-end Warner Brothers Discovery drama productions, and I hear they're likely to resurface on other company platforms. I don't know, man. I don't like their new CEO. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. So, it'll be what it is. Yeah, it's physical. Who cares? I mean, I'm not being a dick. Because they don't want to pay residuals. Ugh. I mean, I know a lot of these streamer companies are starting to cut back as they're hurting with ducats and shit because the competition's getting pretty fierce. But, come on, don't be idiots. But it is what it is. And it is what it is. BBC Persian covered your email, says Cayenne, regarding the Iranian God of War fan execution. Man, that was a sad story. That was a sad fucking story. There's a guy, and forgive me for, I'm not going to even attempt to say his name because I'll butcher it. He was protesting with the Iranian protests that have been going on since that woman was murdered when she was arrested by the, quote, morality police. Give me a fucking break. And he was protesting the government. He was arrested. And they executed him a couple of days ago. And apparently he was very well known for being a PlayStation 5 fan or a PlayStation fan, a video game fan, a God of War fan. He was saving up to get a PS5. He told his cellmate when he got out of jail he wanted to get a PS5. And somebody even told me that, and I don't know if he's just being, he's theorizing or he has data for this, that this guy was actually talking to his roommate or his cellmate while they were waiting for, what was going to happen to him about God of War and how excited he was for Ragnarok. So I tweeted about it, and I guess it picked up a number of it was picked up in a number of places. But I mean, it's come on. Look, people have their own cultures. They have their own lives. If people came over here and saw certain people in America, they'd say, Jesus, they're just fucking crazy. But that said, though, come on, leave people alone. That's disgusting. It's fucking gross. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about forget your hatred towards HBO canceling Westworld, because here's some good news for all of us as gamers. And I was not a huge fan of The Last of Us Part 1. As I've always said, I love the second one. First one was okay, but the first Last of Us HBO reaction claims have been released. There was one critic, Vulture TV critic Roxana Haddadi, tweeted her thoughts, but she had to take them down. She deleted them. She probably broke the embargo, that old so-and-so. Here's what she said. The tweet that she took down says, "It took 5 minutes for The Last of Us to win me over entirely." To win me over entirely. She got rid of that one. But then she put up another 2. This one said, she described the show, and now I don't get this reference. You guys may, because I don't remember it. She said it has extremely strong Blade 2 energy. Now, I know Blade 1 with Wesley Snipes was decent. Blade 2, if I'm remembering correctly, was the Guillermo del Toro directed version of Blade 2. I don't understand the comparison, though, that she is making. Because if she's just saying that it was good, there's a lot of things that are good. Why would she pick Blade 2? I'm very curious what she's talking about. But then she says, "I'm cackling with delight and overcome with emotional turbulence." Goodness gracious. So this will be coming out, I think January 15th is where it's rolling out on HBO, at least in America. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's good to see that that great trailer that came out a couple of weeks ago is now being followed up by wonderful people seeing it, or people seeing it and saying it's wonderful. That's excellent. That's really exciting. Somebody was asking me if I'm going to go see Avatar. Jonay Arucha says, "Jeff, are you going to see Avatar 2 in the theater?" God, no. Ugh, no. I have no interest in that movie. If it's great, I'll watch it at home. I'm going to watch The Fabelmans. Can't wait to watch The Fabelmans. That just came out on premium video on demand. I can't wait to watch She Said over Christmas. That just came out on video on demand, but I have zero interest in Avatar 2. Even though people are saying it's great, I'll watch it at home. If the fucking movie can't, if the movie's not good unless I see it in IMAX, then it's not a very good fucking movie. That's what I would say, but I'll watch it for sure. Okay. Listen to this lawsuit about Fortnite. Now, I don't talk about Fortnite a lot. I barely play it. My kids were telling me they downloaded it again recently, and I guess it's got a big graphic upgrade. And it's whatever. I mean, I respect it and I like it. I've just never been very good at it. I keep wanting to go in and try the version without the building that's just kind of cartoony deathmatch. But regardless, here's this lawsuit. You got to listen to this. This is crazy. This is batshit. Yeah, Jerry says it was a Unreal Engine 5 upgrade is what Fortnite got. Why is there more show in the top left of the screen than the rest of the screen? Are you talking to me? Why is there more show in the top? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Oh, more snow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I fucked that up. That's my problem. Fuck you, Darth Nugget. I'll fix it later. Fuck you. It's because I have 2 layers of it working and I didn't move it around. Shut the fuck up. Let's move on. Fortnite class action lawsuit can proceed, says a Canadian court. Let me tell you about this. So 3 parents filed a class action lawsuit against Epic Games in 2019. They says, hey, look, this game knowingly created the very, very addicting Fortnite. And Epic is like, hey, fuck you, kick this shit out of court. We want it out. This is dumb. Okay. Well, the other day, Canadian court says, hey, I don't consider the claim to be frivolous or ill-founded. So they're going to allow this to continue. This is what the parents said. I'm reading this directly from Games Radar. 3 parents from Quebec are suing Epic Games for intentionally designing the Battle Royale to be highly addictive and state that their kids, according to CTV, allegedly developed, quote, severe addictions to the games, which included spending hundreds of dollars in games, sometimes without parental consent. Epic Games, when they created Fortnite, this is their lawyer talking, the suing people, the prosecutors. For years and years, Epic hired psychologists. They really dug into the human brain, and they really made the effort to make it as addictive as possible. Attorney Alice, whatever, some lady said she was attorney. They knowingly put on the market a very, very addictive game that was geared towards youth. It is a much, much deeper issue, listen to this quote, than people ever really realize. So basically, these games were created with algorithms and dark patterns. What the fuck is a dark pattern? That made it to addict you. And once the pattern starts, it is very, very, very hard to get out of. Okay, so look. Okay, if you've ever created, if you've ever written, when you learn about the craft of game making or writing or probably music, Part of the work, the reason you work really hard to be good at pop music is you want to craft a hook and a melody that sticks in the brain pan. When you write books or you write articles or you write movies, part of what you do is you lay in seeds of getting the audience to go, I don't want to look away from the screen because I'm dying to know what happens next. Okay? If you look at Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, which I have been playing a ton of lately, and it is very addictive to me, which I love, and I enjoy that. One of the things that makes that secret sauce is simply the happy brain chemicals that release when you actually get a bullet hit on an enemy. I don't mean killing an enemy, but the way, if you really study it, if you look at the reticle, the way the reticle pops, there's a little vibration in the controller, and there's this very discernible but still faded in the background. Ba-ding, 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 so even if you don't kill the guy, just getting that hit feels good, and you want more of it. Same thing with Mario and the coins, right? So this idea that all products use tools and techniques to make you engage and make you have happy chemicals so that you will continue to purchase the product. It's like, hey, McDonald's, your fries are too good. Could you put a little fecal paste on the fries so people don't buy them as often? I mean, I don't understand this. So yes, is Fortnite addictive? Sure. Does Fortnite encourage gambling? I don't think anymore. I don't even know if they ever had loot boxes, but now that they have the battle pass, it doesn't. So that's gotten resolved. So you can't really blame this on like, well, we have to protect kids from gambling. And so Epic said this. Epic's absolutely right. They said, look, we have industry-leading parental controls that empower parents to supervise their kids' digital experience. Parents can listen to how much they do for parents. Parents can receive playtime reports that track the amount of time their kid plays each week. They can require parental permission before purchases are made. We've also recently, they said, added a daily spending limit by default for players under 13. They said they plan to fight this in court. The lawyer said that the kids developed severe addictions, which included spending hundreds of dollars in the game without parental consent. That's the parents' problem. Okay, if my kid, when they were little, got on my iPhone and spent $80 on Tom the Talking Cat, which I think one of them at some point did, I didn't call Tom the Talking Cat and say, oh, yeah, it's your fault. I said, oh, well, I better watch my kid a little bit better. So stupid. I love Canada, but come on, Canada, you fucking morons. Anyway, this is going to proceed, but Epic says they'll fight it in court. And I hope that they do pull it away. Mutant Mo says you better use the same argument for the myth that is porn addiction. I can't speak to that all that well. I don't know anything about it. I can't speak to that all that well. What I can tell you is I do know from secondhand experience that not porn addiction, but sex addiction is a real challenge for some people. And it's not what you think. It's not like, oh, what, too much sex? It's not like that. It really is an underlying psychological issue they're struggling with. But when it comes to porn addiction, I don't have a problem with porn either. All I'm telling you, though, is that porn addiction, I believe Mutant Mo have done studies that say that it can create unrealistic expectations in the bedroom, and in that people should be careful. But as long as people are aware of it, which I think most people are, game on is what I say. Hey, I want to welcome a couple of people to the Diet Says Soldiers, and I also want to say thank you. Carlos Hernandez has been a member for 15 months. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that support. I really do, man. He says, happy holidays and happy 15 months. Absolutely, sir. Happy holidays to you and yours, and thank you for the support. Also, I want to say Mecca FM has decided to sally on up to the bar, put down his ducats and say, Jaffe, give me whatever you're having. And I'm happy to, sir. Everybody, welcome Mecca FM to the great, brave Legendary, even. Diet Soda Soldiers. I appreciate it, Mecca. Thank you so much, buddy. Doug says, I'll put this out ahead of time. Wordle isn't a video game. I don't give a fuck what you say. You're wrong. Wordle is a video game, and it will be in my top 10 of 2022. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. Okay, let's move on. Come on now. Come on now. Okay. Wordle is a text game. It's a game that you play on a screen. What do you want from me? I mean, this is like arguing about narrative in Elden Ring. Can you pick a specific just for you definition of a word, and then in that definition that you have decided is the main definition, it doesn't fit? Sure. But I'm going off the general definition that most people consider, which is Wordle is a video game. Jerry A has been a member for 21 months. Thank you, buddy. So she used to say, I've been a member. Oh, Jesus, Jerry, I'm worried about you. He says, I've been a member for 21 months. He says, woot, woot, I'm legal now. Sir, you know legal is 21 years, not 21 months. What have you been doing with your free time, sir? I want you in therapy first thing Monday morning. This is getting a little out of hand. Jerry A, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it very, very much. Thanks, pal. Is it on the iPhone? It is on the iPhone. It's also on the fucking PC, man. Okay, listen to me. Call of Duty. We're not going to get into it too much. I know not everybody's into it like I am, but I'm into it a lot right now, so I got to talk about it. Call of Duty tomorrow, 10 a.m., is getting their first season update for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. I just want to tell you what is in it, because it's kind of cool. Warzone 2 will be getting a Rocket League style mode. I don't think I'll like it, but I'm going to play it. They'll be getting a Rocket League style mode where you're on ATVs. I don't know if you can get off your ATVs and start shooting people and stuff. That would be great. I don't know if you can use your guns, but apparently you'll have special ATVs that have a pulse ability so you can push a massive soccer ball, they call it football, but they're morons, into the other team's goal. Collect and toss shock sticks to stall your opponents or boost through enemy vehicles and ram them out of the way. So that is happening. Yes, if you want to put a link, just tell me what to Google. I don't know if you can put links in the chat. So that is happening. But also, in the update tomorrow, we're going to get the first raid, which is called Atomgrad. And this is a 3-person raid, picks up where the campaign left off. And it has puzzles and exploring and fighting, and it's kind of more of like a narrative. It's almost a little bit like Hivebusters, a little bit more than Spec Ops kind of thing, right? Here's what they say. This is coming from Games Radar as well. These raids are meant to be high-end content for experienced players, and you'll have to demonstrate competence to even get in. So to get in, you need a raid key. Raid access is limited by these keys, which you can earn by completing specific daily challenges in a multiplayer or Spec Ops. You can also get a raid key by placing in the top 20 of a Warzone match or extracting from DMZ with 30K in cash, right? So I am very excited for this. This is coming out. You don't all need a raid key. If you have it, your two buddies can jump in. Raids go live December 14th. There's also going to be a brand new map for straight up Modern Warfare multiplayer based on the shipment map of, I think it was a very long time ago game. And then they redid it last year. The Rocket League, and there's also adding another building 21 to the DMZ map. So there's a lot of good stuff coming if you're into the Call of Duties. Somebody in the chat wrote something I want to read. Where'd it go? I can't find it. If you feel you wrote something brilliant, I need to see, just hit me back. I would help you, says Ravnos Murderer Last Stand, guys, but I don't own Call of Duty, which sucks, since I have a code for the super version on PC, but no desire to buy a PC. You should give it away. Give it away to somebody who wants it. Give it away now. Jaffe, did you see they announced Returnal for PC and its ridiculous system requirements? I did see both of those things. I loved Returnal, but I guess I'll keep playing it on my PS5 since my computer is just kind of like, it's okay. Save that for later. I'll save that for later. Let's put this up right now. Boom. Hey, come on now. Come on. There we go. Let's talk about 2022 wrap ups. This is the time of year we're starting to see lots and lots of best of, worst of list. I love this time of year across all media. I wish they still did YouTube Rewind. Remember that? I used to love YouTube Rewind and watch it with my kids. So we watched a bunch of old ones last night. But anyway, the point is, this time of year we start getting best movies, best songs, best games, and all kinds of Spotify rap shit, right? So I want to go over some of that with you guys, share what you think, share what I think. If you haven't gone to PlayStation yet, then you should go to PlayStation if you have a PlayStation account and get your 2022 wrap up from them. I'll tell you what they said. This applies to everybody. The most played monthly games on PlayStation Plus, right? So these are the games they give away for free every month. They said FIFA 22 was the most popular played game. Came out, was offered May 2022. Makes sense. UFC 4 was 2, Dirt 5, which is so goddamn good. If you haven't played it, get it. It's fucking the knees bees. Better than Forza, I think. Sonic Racing, Team Sonic Racing is brilliant. That was number 4. Number 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Okay. Most popular games. These are the most popular games that you got if you have the PlayStation Plus game catalog. These are free games they give as long as you're a member. This is kind of their library. Stray was the number 1 one, which again, hopefully will tell Sony, how much could Stray have cost? Probably not very much. Okay. Compared to what Jim Ryan says, it's not sustainable. We can't put our big budget games on free day one. But hopefully they'll look at something like this and go, you know what? We can't do Stray. I mean, we can't do Ragnarok, but could we do a Atreus only side quest that lasts for 2 or 3 hours and make that a day one on PlayStation Extra? Why not? Could we go out and get some more of these indie games people like that are commercial and put that as on Extra? Why not? I hope so. And I hope this gets them going. Look, it's not all or the other. You can do both. You can keep your premium games locked behind the retail $70 wall as long as you need to. But come on, man, give us some day one shit to compete with Game Pass. I don't see the problem. It's not like they, cancel one AAA game, make 4 of these fucking smaller things. Why not? Spider-Man Miles Morales. So Stray was the most played popular game on Extra, which is their library. Spider Miles Morales, which is the best superhero game ever made. Maybe Midnight Sun's going to give it a run for its money, but it's delightful. Number 3 was, again, one of the best games ever made, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Number 4 was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And number 5 was Red Dead Redemption 2 that I've never played and I want to play, but I don't know if it's even available anymore on any of the stores, any of the subscription services. But anyway, there you go. And then finally, premium. These are the top classic games that people said, hey, you know what? I'm going to play these. I'm going to play these old games. This is interesting. Number 5 was the original Tekken 2. Number 4 was the Harry Potter Lego collection. Number 3 was Toy Story 2. Number 2, of course, a little game I like to call God of War 3. God of War 3 was the number 2 most played classic game for PlayStation Plus premium members. And the number 1 game, for some weird reason, I'm not knocking the game, I just didn't know it was as popular, was Mafia. The definitive edition was the number 1 premium game. Okay, and then if you go to this thing, though, you can get your very own wrap-up. You can find out exactly kind of what, and I'm not going to go over all mine and bore you with that shit, but I will give you a couple of choice ones. I'll give you my annual highlights. How about that, kids? All right, here's my summary card. I played on PlayStation 697 hours. I played 62 games. I got 239 trophies, none of which I tried to get for the most part. I just got them randomly. I played 34 PS Plus games. My top games of the year that I played most. Where's that? I want to see that. There's a better way to show you that. My top games of the year were Elden Ring was number one. I played it for 255 hours. Now ask yourself why it's my game of the year. Right behind was Bloodborne. I played Bloodborne for 100 hours. I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for 83 hours so far. Then WWK 2K22, 37 hours, and followed up by Cyberpunk at 36. But that's only because I stopped playing this to play Elden Ring. I want to go back and play some more. And then everybody collectively, God of War has been out for a short time. Players have accomplished a lot. 850 rage mode activations, 5 billion axe throws, 6 billion enemies killed. Okay. So you can go on over there and get your 2022 wrap if you haven't. I only look like a normie. Morgan said Jaffe looks like a more normie for the most part. That's because most of what I played on PlayStation, the reason I go to PlayStation is for the big games, short of the ones that you can only get on Xbox. But most games that aren't normie are Steam games for me. So, okay, let's move on. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the Metacritic. This is a terrible list to go into because it's so mean, but I'm still curious. Metacritic wants you to know the worst reviewed games of 2022. But before we get to that, I feel you guys feeling that in your nether regions? It feels... Calpy 97, Calpy 97, Calpy fucking 97, Calpy 97. Welcome to Diet Soda Soldiers. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate the little cute picture of is that a Boston Terrier of your little puppy dog there? Thank you for that. And more importantly, I just appreciate you being part of our community and being here and hanging out with us, sir. Calpy 97. Everybody, welcome Calpy 97, either with an emoticon of your choice or with a Blumpkin. Either one of those would be satisfactory to me. Welcome, Calpy 97. Okay, here we go. This is fuck you, Eric Lynn, and I will just fuck your mother again like I did last night. And she didn't like it. I mean, it wasn't against her will. She was just like, fuck me like I'm not going to like it, Jaffe. And I was just like, okay. Ooh, that's a bad memory. Anyway, yeah, Neon White is great. Neon White is great. Okay, Metacritic reveals the worst games 2022. Here we go. According to the list, it includes games released for any platform between January 1st, 2022, December 31st, 2022. Okay. Metacritic points out games with fewer than 7 reviews from professional outlets are excluded. They point out that a game can only feature once on the list, so games released on multiple platforms are judged by their lowest score. Okay. Here we go. Number 10 was Blade Runner Enhanced Edition, averaging a 52 review. Kamiwaza, Way of the Thief, never heard of it, is at a 52. The number 8 worst reviewed game of the year, The Waylanders. I don't know what the fuck that is. 51. Number 7, The Last Oricru. 50. Number 6, Zorro the Chronicles. 49. I know who Zorro is. I don't know this was a game. Number 5 was a Switch game, Ark of the Alchemist. 46 out of 100 review. XEL on the Switch. Don't know what that is. 43. You will have heard of the top 3. And no, it is not Saints Row. Saints Row did not make it up there. Number 3 was Babylon's Fall from Square. Got a 41. 41. Number 2 was Crossfire X, which I think just came out, didn't it? For the Xbox Series X exclusive, got a 38. The number 1 worst reviewed game of the year, and I want to say I played this one. No, I didn't. I played the shooter, kind of the number 1 worst reviewed game of the year is Postal 4 No Regrets. It's sitting at a 30 out of 100 collectively, aggregatively, whatever. I did play the Postal first-person shooter that I certainly didn't think it was horrible. It was fun. It was a decent, fun, C+, B- tier title, but and it was in the Postal universe, such as it is. But Postal 4 was kind of the mainline game that came out this year, and it is the worst rated game of 2022. Okay. Let me see if I want to share this with you. I don't know. All right, I'll tell you. You want some more lists? Do we want more lists, or do we want to talk about video game collection? We want more lists, or we want to talk about video game collection? I got a few more lists for you. You let me know. Brett Moore says, I love lists. Both. Spectre Bull says list. All right, I'll give you a list. I like lists too. I think the human brain likes lists. These are Kotaku's biggest gaming disappointments of 2022. Here we go. Number 1. I don't think this is any order. It's just in general. Number 1, Bobby Kotick is still employed. That is literally one of their most disappointing things to learn about 2022. I absolutely agree. Bobby Kotick still has a job. The next one, number 3. Buggy, broken, and messy game launches. Video games are hard to make, blah, blah, blah. They cite Pokemon Violet, Scarlet, FIFA, Overwatch 2, Gotham Knights, and Saints Row, and more ship in terrible states. They do, but guess what? Pokemon Violet, Scarlet's one of the best-selling games of the year, as is FIFA. We don't know about Overwatch 2. We assume Gotham Knights and Saints Row are different. So you know what? Fuck you. The most disappointing thing of the year should be gamers who buy this shit, or gamers who buy it and complain about it. I would buy a game that's buggy. Marvel Sons has crashed on me 8 times, but I still fucking love it and glad I didn't wait. But you know, all right, the next one, the rise of the $70 video game. Is that really the most disappointing? Somehow something's related. Buggy, broken, and messy game launches. We don't want that. $70 games are more expensive to make. We don't want that. Anything the game companies do to try to survive and to try to get by, everybody complains about. Well, I mean, it's not free. It's not a charity. There are free games out there. Go to Newgrounds or something. Isn't that still activated? I don't fucking know. Video game companies consuming each other. In regards to Activision getting bought by Microsoft, I think it's a good thing. We talked about that yesterday. I know a lot of people don't like it. But that's what Kotaku thinks. They think video game companies consuming each other. I wonder if Kotaku is owned by anybody. Isn't Kotaku owned by a big company? Let's find out. I'm just curious. Who owns Kotaku? Okay, so Kotaku has been purchased by, they were launched by the Gawker Media Network. And now they're part of a company that owns Gizmondo, Kotaku, The Root, the AV Club. So, you know, what can I do for you? What can I do for you, Kotaku? The number 6 most disappointing game story of 2022 is NFTs are still a thing. Not really. You saw Jimmy Fallon's being sued along with Paris Hilton for selling NFTs. I didn't know you could be sued for that, but they are being sued. But NFTs are still a thing. It's nice to see this fucking bullshit come to an end. I'm digging that. Ravino says Jaffe is pro big business. Maybe. I mean, I'm also pro small business. I like small businesses too, but you know, I like things when a lot of money gets poured into it to give me more of what I want. Right? I like when you have an individual artist who says, I'm going to make this game or write this book or make this song on my own terms. I'm going to publish it myself. I'm going to put it on YouTube and make money directly with the fans. I'm not going to worry about, I'm going to cut out the corrupt corporate music companies. I love that. And I love that the internet has brought us more and more of that and will continue to do so. But I also love the fact that Disney can swoop in and say, hey, Marvel, hey, Star Wars, would you like to be acquired? And they say yes. It's not like there's a hostile takeover. And then I get, as a fan, a lot more Marvel, a lot more Star Wars than I ever got before. And I get them at huge budgets. So I like both. I just want things to be fair. And if they're not fair, I have an issue. Chris Pratt's Mario voice is the number 7 most disappointed story in video games of 2022. Yeah, Star Wars is not an A, but Lucas is a they, and you know who I'm talking about. I don't know what's absurd. What's absurd, Ricardo? Chris Pratt's Mario voice. I mean, I didn't like that they got Chris Pratt for this. I didn't care that much, but I would have preferred it to be the traditional one. But somebody said, I didn't notice it in the latest Mario trailer. He did kind of, dig out his Italian accent. And I guess it was kind of fine. I don't fucking know. Okay. More layoffs and studio closures. Well, I don't know why they picked a picture of G4. Anybody could have seen this coming a mile away. Probably most of them did. But sure, layoffs and studio closures. But again, all of it's tied in. The bugs, the prices, the layoffs. We want better graphics. All of this is marbled into the cake that is mainstream video game business. So, yeah, I agree with you, Spectre Bowl. Spectre Bowl says G4 wasn't a disappointment since we all expected it to burn down. I was hopeful. Not because of these guys on the screen, except like Sessler and, I thought Frost was great for that channel. I've said numerous times they should have doubled down on her view. That makes good television. That makes good content. That makes good engagement, especially if you pair her with someone who's opposite with her philosophically. But if they would have just said, fuck television, be a 24/7 Twitch, YouTube channel, fuck all these budgets and crazy shit, don't do it. Like, I could bring back G4 at this point. If somebody gave me $1 million or whatever it would cost just to hire these people and to hire a couple of producers. And it's just like, you know what? I don't care about production value because YouTube is public access. Nobody cares about production value. They care about content. And let's fucking do it 24/7. Someone should do that because that I believed in. I didn't think that was going to be a disappointment. But the minute this channel started to act like we want to be big boy TV, it was like, oh, you guys, you poor sick son of a bitches. You are once again chasing the wrong thing. You're chasing Hollywood and prestige and budget, and it just don't do it. Don't do it. That's not what, I'm going to say real quick, and I'm going to move on from this. I was watching, like I said, we were watching last night. Me and the kids and the ex were watching YouTube rewinds from the past couple of years, 2013, 2012, or 2013 was the first one, I think. But anyway, and it was interesting because as I was watching it, whether you're woke, anti-woke, whatever, it doesn't matter. As I'm watching it, here's what I noticed. I noticed a lot of diversity. Right? I noticed women, people of color, LGBT, a bunch of straight white dudes. I assume they're straight. That wasn't their content, but they were definitely sort of, they presented as just sort of, quote, everyday American white dudes. And I said to my ex, I said, it's weird because when her and I grew up, it really was the token black person, the token gay neighbor, and everybody else was just sort of white, Christian, whatever, for the most part. But kids that got raised like our kids on YouTube instead of normal television, it was interesting because to them, all their media has always been diverse. Like, it would never occur to them to go, oh, look, there's a gay person on YouTube. They're like, well, yeah, what's the problem? Which I think is great, See, Jaffe, you see color and gender. I do. And you do as well. In fact, you saying you don't see color is actually racist, just so you know. You absolutely see color. Everyone sees color. You're not a fucking moron. And to say you don't see color, to be fair, takes away from the lived experience of minority folks who are struggling with racism or homophobia or whatever. Okay, let's move forward. The next 8 out of 15, the number 9 most disappointment in 2022. In games. Nintendo keeps treating its fans and employees poorly. Yeah, and they keep buying. Fuck you. Fuck you, Kotaku. Fuck you, Kotaku. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting that I'm pro big business. What I'm saying is either do something about it or shut the fuck up, right? The idea that it's like, we're going to virtue signal and get our little panties in a bunch because Nintendo treats its fans poorly. Guess what? No one cares, because Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet are probably going to be the best-selling games of the year, if not right behind Call of Duty, and that's only because Call of Duty is on everything. Come on now. Number 10, Elon Musk continues to be stupid. I haven't figured out Elon Musk. Most days I think he's a dangerous moron. There are days where I go, I really like his ambition and his drive, but I think he's probably more often than not a dangerous moron. Deus Ex Go, games disappearing, shutting down, or going away forever. That's the number 11th most disappointing thing of the year. Kotaku says Overwatch 2 is a bummer, is the number 12th most disappointing thing. It says the launch was a giant mess with server issues, bugs, broken characters, overpriced skins, phone login requirements, etc., etc., etc. It's in a better place now, but it still feels like Blizzard picked the worst way to roll this game out and screwed that plan up. Overwatch 2 being a bummer. The top three disappointing news stories of 2022. Game companies keep disrespecting artists and musicians. Really? Let's read this one. The video game industry is massive, and many of its big companies are involved worth billions, yet many of them continue to treat artists poorly. This year alone, we saw 2 different composers come out and explain how big companies like Activision and Bethesda reportedly disrespected their creative intentions and distanced themselves from the finished soundtrack. We saw Epic apparently offer an artist $3,000 for an art piece while it rakes in millions selling skins in Fortnite. Well, look, if a company treats you poorly, then, I'm glad these people came out and said this is a problem. If it is, good for them. But the art thing I don't buy. The market determines what something is worth. And if Epic's like, hey, we'll give you $3,000 for what, I don't know, let's see what it was. They said, we'll give you $3,000. Illustrator Deb JJ pointed out, this was in December, a couple of weeks ago, Fortnite makes billions a year. Epic Games continues to position itself as pro gamer. Fortnite offered $3,000 to an artist for an illustration and the copyright, which meant the artist wouldn't be able to sell prints or repost. The artist refused. Now creators are rallying against what they see as predatory contracts. Fuck you! It doesn't matter. That's what they thought your fucking art was worth. They wanted it in the game. Here it is right here. And they offered you a price. And I'm assuming, I don't know what the image is. They offered you a price. And you said, yeah, I don't think so. Done. We went to the Rolling Stones and said, we really want to put Paint It Black in the end of Twisted Metal Black and also at the beginning in the menus. And they said, oh, you no problem, governor. Because they're British. And they said, no problem, governor. They said, okay, here's the deal. Here's what we want. And we said, we may have negotiated a little bit, but ultimately, we said, okay. And they were happy enough and we were happy enough. And we moved on with our fucking lives. This idea that you're being disrespected, fuck you, you fucking moron. That's what they offered. Just because someone's super... I think it's hilarious that Fortnite, which earns $6 billion, asked me to do an entire illustration for $3,000. Great. Did you say no? Great. You're done. You're done. You're not... I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just a ridiculous thing. Fuck you, Kotaku. That's all I'll say. Okay, the number... what is it? The number 2 most disappointing story of 2022, according to Kotaku. The metaverse isn't dead yet. You know what? Fuck you. I don't like Kotaku. I like them to an extent. I agree, Stonerface. Artists are going to be more mad when AI art gets better and companies start using it. Fuck yeah. Absolutely fuck yeah. Because if it's good enough to get my point across, then fuck you. I'm tired of that too. It's like, are there human artists right now that can do better work than AI for set? But the idea that I don't know what I was talking about. What did she say? The AI art, right? So there's like 70% of things that maybe you're going to want still a real artist for, but there are things now that you don't need an artist for. You can use AI. Sorry. That's the way it's all going. You can tell me that, but you're not going to get the personal touch. And in some cases, you're right. And in some cases, I want the personal touch, and that is important. But in some cases, like if I'm putting together a piece, let's put it this way. If I was still working in games and I said, we used to do these things called one-pagers. And one-pagers were like 2 to 3 paragraphs of very high-level ideas for a game. And we'd all tune in, we'd all turn in about 5 to 12 of them, and then we'd sit in a room with them in a pile and talk about, did any of these appeal to us? What might we want to make next, okay? And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, because it was just a throwaway, we would pull stuff off the internet. Like, it's a Destruction Derby game, but with rats. We never did that. We would take Destruction Derby, and then we would Photoshop rats in the cars and, whatever, just to kind of get the idea. Well, I can do that with AI art for the most part now. And I'm not going to pay an artist for that. And trust me, it's coming for designers too. It's coming for all of us, as it should. That's evolution. We'll get a universal base income. We'll all be fine. Hope so. The number one worst story, the metaverse isn't being in dead though. All I can tell you is that I played the Cloud Sky concert thing yesterday from that game company. I thought it was great. Mark Zuckerberg's idea of the metaverse is probably 30 to 70 years ahead of its time, but that is absolutely where we're all going, of course. And I think it's great. I think it's exciting. But ultimately, though, if you're talking about Zuckerberg's version, yeah, I guess that's true. Here's their number one thing they thought was disappointing this year. That was their number one thing. Sorry, their number one thing was the metaverse is still alive. It is not dead yet. We'll do that later. Here's what I'm going to do. We have more stories. I'm going to save those because I'm not leaving yet, but I got to get to this interview. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll just for the next 20 minutes, I'll just turn on the chat. I'll turn on the red phone. It's all about the chat. And so if you guys, I'll answer whatever questions, I'll debate you, I'll talk to you, call in on the Discord. The red phone will be active in just a second. You can call in using your ringy dingy telephone. It's not active yet. Don't call it yet. I got to turn it on, fellas. Got to turn it on. What did I watch last night, by the way? Last night I watched, the fuck did we watch? Well, we watched a bunch. We watched, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the dentist that wanted to be a dentist. The Hermie is what we watched. Okay. The red phone is now officially on. I will take your calls. I will take your Discord. I will take your chat. I will take your very fucking soul. Goddamn right. Let me tell Alexa to set the timer because I got to make sure I'm not late for this. It's 4:00. Alexa, set timer for 20 minutes. Rotten Tanuki says, Jaffe, hook me up with that 3K Fortnite skin. I'll do it for 2K. Right. I mean, Rotten Tanuki, you are an artist. You are a professional working artist, and you are a very good artist. Do you agree with what I'm saying here? I mean, like, one of the things I'm curious. I don't know if I'm currently subscribed to any of these AI programs, but I'm curious at this point. Rotten does, you can see on your screen right now, the Day One Patch Kids, which are these very creative, very fun, Garbage Pail Kids meet video games. There's a brand new coloring book he has out for Christmas. He's got great shirts, great swag over there. Please check him out in the link tree down below. It's funny stuff. But I wonder if I went over to the AI tool and said, Street Fighter meets Garbage Pail Kids. I wonder what I would get. I certainly wouldn't be able to get something of the quality that Rotten does that I could sell. But certainly if I, was looking to generate ideas and shit, and I agree with you, Rotten Tanuki, know your value and stop bitching and start working on upping your value if that's what you care about. Eddie says hand-drawn, handmade art will always be superior. In regards to what? Art, the end product of a painting it's a tool, right? So if you're saying, someone painted something that speaks to your soul, well, AI art can speak to your soul. So if you're saying someone painted a portrait of your kids and a real person was able to capture that likeness and that spirit better than an AI, then yes, it's more valuable. But if someone's like, I need to see kind of what the Eiffel Tower would look like on fire because I want to do this level in the new Call of Duty, I'm proposing it as a map. Why would I go out and pay an artist $600 to $1,200 a day, a professional concept artist or someone on staff, when I can just type it and have it in 5 minutes? So yeah, well, preference is different. Mutant Mo says it isn't superior, but hand-drawn is my preference. That's fantastic. That's great. Yeah, no one's knocking you for your preferences. I'm an artist for a living, says Brett, and AI art is theft when used as an original piece. Well, I don't think that's true. If you use someone's art to, if you use someone's art that has already been created, to make your AI art, then you're right. But if you go to AI and the AI uses machine learning to say, this is what a Corvette looks like based on all my data, and this is what Taylor Swift looks like based on all my data, and I'm creating my, it's not what artists don't use reference pictures. Of course they do. I don't see how that's theft, but if I put in, I'm trying to think of a piece of art that you could, if I put in Mario from Nintendo artists and they are cracking down on people except them using their intellectual property, sure, absolutely. It's no more theft than you pulling ideas from what you've seen, says Lord Garth. Right. I am going to play High on Life. Yes. When this week sometime. I don't know when. Eddie says, so if I made an AI art piece, since I wrote out what I wanted it to create, AI art is winning art contests and stuff. So, I mean, again, I'm sorry. I get it. I get that you don't like it. The people at McDonald's don't like they're being, replaced by fucking robots. But, again, you live in a capitalist society. I have issues with that, but you do. We all do right now. Most of us watching this anyway. Probably all of us watching this. We're certainly influenced by it if it's not directly your country's economic philosophy. And, it's just kind of, it's the way it goes, man. And again, it's coming. I want it to come for design. I want it to come for novels. I want a book to be written well. I want a game to be designed well. I'm not saying I want it to be McDonald's French fries. I want it to be done well, tailored specifically to my tastes. So when I play the new Indiana Jones game from Todd Howard's company, and you play it, the things that you love about Indiana Jones and the things I love about Indiana Jones are reflected. Right? That's cool, man. That's what you should want. You're making those choices anyway. You're making when you go into a bookstore and buy a book or go to Amazon and say, I want a fantasy book, I want it with a female lead character, and I want the fantasy to be like a Tolkien-esque time period. You're making those choices anyway. So in 100 years, when an AI can write a novel good enough to be toe-to-toe with what a human can do, they'll go, oh, Jaffe's in the mood for a new novel. Here's 3 of them that we just wrote based on what we know about you, based on what you've inputted, blah, 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 blah. Right? It's fine. It's fine. I guess there's a super chat. Did I miss a super chat? If I did, I'm sorry. I'm going to go get it right now. D-Trucks. Oh, well, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I saw your super chat. My bad. In my head, I nodded and acknowledged that you were right. D-Trucks dropped a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, Kotaku equals self-righteous pricks. The problem with self-righteous pricks is that sometimes their self-righteousness is right. I can't throw Kotaku out with the bathwater because Kotaku's heart, in a lot of ways, at least some of their articles are in the right place. They're about diversity, inclusivity, about progressive mindset. All of that sits well with me. But there are absolutely times they can go fuck themselves with a rubber duck. God has shined on me at this moment. The secret word of the day or phrase of the day was fuck yourself with a rubber duck, and I have been treated in kind by a look up Supergirl's skirt. Let me look at it now. What? It is gone. It has vanished. I'll get to that in a second. I think my nephew's in the chat. Did I see Scotty Crawford? Where'd he go? Where'd Scott Crawford go? I got to go back to Alabama. It's just, I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to fly. I wish I could just work there and be there. Hang on a minute. Scott said something to me. He says, hey, you old so-and-so, what happened to your beard? It fell off. It fell off. You know what it is? I shaved my head and I figured I found the cord for the clippers. I'm like, fuck it, I'm here. I never grew the beard as a statement. I was just lazy. Nothing I do for the most part, except like creative work or my stream is ever in raising my kids is ever like curated and cultivated and nurtured. It's just like, hey, that's where that fell. I guess it's staying on the floor, right? So that's kind of what happened. It was never a look. Andreas, who I believe we're talking soon. Oh, what time is it? Make sure I'm not late. Where did that go? I think what time is it right now? No, we're not late yet. Okay, good. I'm talking to Andreas's company in about 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. He dropped super chat. He says it's the same for engineers. AI can and will replace engineering work in the future. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Well, this allows new jobs to be invented. It is what it is, right? I mean, I think that's amazing. I think that is amazing. The fact that sooner than later, you will, and you can do it now with very simple code. But I've seen these AI programs that are able to go with conversationalism or with conversationalist expression. You can go, hey, make me a game that plays like Space Invaders. Or, you gotta give it some more details. Hit return, it comes back to you. It's not very good, and it's probably running in a language slower than BASIC. I'm not saying we're there yet. But the idea that eventually, hey, sorry, QA testers, eventually you'll still need QA testers for the meta, but it'll be like, your new game has returned 5,643 bugs. Would you like to see a version of the game with all of those removed? Sure. That's where we're going. That's our evolution. Our brains have evolved enough that we have been able to invent computers that are already way smarter than us. And we're going to have a better life for it. Hey, Daniel, both my nephews are here. Where's my niece? I feel whatever. Oh, Daniel's here. Oh, by the way, Daniel, I saw you started doing more Geeky Forester stuff on Instagram. I like that. I didn't. Oh my God. Is that in tune? Probably not. Daniel has a channel over on Instagram called The Geeky Forester, where he talks about all sorts of things that are very adult and responsible, which means I don't understand what he's saying, but it looks like it's a pretty good channel if you're into being an adult and responsible and caring about the environment, knowing how companies like Daniel's work. Check him out over on Instagram. Oh, my nephews are in the chat. You guys, I want to come home. Gravity drops a super chat. He says, I'll tell you what. People always say, Jaffe, let me send you this. Let me see. Here's what you can send me. Send me a free ride 2 ways, round trip, in a private jet. That's safe. I don't want to get on any big bopper fucking bullshit, La Bamba shit. Send me a free private plane back to Alabama and back home to California, and I'll fucking show you where the horse bit me. I just hate traveling. But if I had a private plane, I'd be in Alabama every, 4 months. Gravity drops super chat. Thank you, buddy. He knows I appreciate it. He says, I'm excited about the future AI and simulation games like Skyrim. Of course. Of course. He says, imagine being able to have dynamic, context-driven conversations with NPCs that they remember. Players will not want to leave the world. Absolutely. If you go on YouTube, you can already see this stuff. You can see a company has voice-activated NPCs that will, that try to respond using machine learning. So it's like walking around Grand Theft Auto, but every single NPC you go up to, you can actually engage in a conversation. Now, again, it's early. The conversations mostly aren't great, but we're getting there. And yeah, the level of immersion that comes from that is just fantastic. 69mega.com says, are you tired of being alone? Well, we'll help you. So, thanks, 69mega. Will there still be capitalism when the robots are doing all the labor? I don't know. I don't know if there will. I don't care. I think, people... I was a kid in Alabama. I must have been about 10 years old when the first ATM came to town. And remember, I'm 51, right? So I wasn't born into a world with ATMs. If you wanted money, your mom and dad had to go into the goddamn bank to get it. Dad, I'm going to the movies this weekend. It's Friday at 2. Let me get to the bank before they close so I can pull out some money. And I saw a lot of people afraid to use the fucking ATMs. We have 2,000, we have more, but let's just say 2,000 years of history of technology evolving and people being scared and then embracing it and it becoming their lives and making life better. And even with that 2,000 year span of experience going, this is what we do as people, we still resist it. Isn't that weird? It's like, you're going to be fine. If AI takes all the jobs, you still got 8 million people on the planet. They got to find a way to eat and house themselves. So, and the people who are owning the AI that make the products for the AI have to be able to sell it to someone. So maybe capitalism evolves as it should anyway, but we'll get there. We'll be fine. We just have to, the trick is not to kill ourselves as we're trying to get there. Ravno says, no, Jaffe, the QA will be testing the game that AI made and all the blowhard producers will be outside Lowe's looking for work. Could be. Yeah. If that's where it goes, cool. The barcode on all the items the Japanese thought was the mark of the devil, says Rotten Tanuki. Is that right? Well, there you go. Ravno says, yeah, we're doing so great with Twitter and Instagram, right, Jaffe? No, we're not. But that is called evolution, right? So instead of saying, and I can get back to video games, but it's related. Instead of saying, humans haven't had a good response to social media and the fire hose of data that has come since the internet. No, we haven't. But instead of going, let's shut that down, let's regulate it, let's destroy it, I prefer to go, this is an amazing tool, and if we can just stop being assholes, let's work to sort of culturally evolve to a point where we understand and utilize the value of this amazing tool without it turning us into assholes. We're not going to get there if we don't go through the chaos that is required for growth. So, that's what I would say. Ron Tanuki, that is true, the Japanese thing. I agree. Matt says the grassroots movement for Bernie Sanders was good till the DNC rat fucked him in the movement, right? Okay, before I go, let's check the news. Let's see if anything, I'm always nervous when I do this show because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss any good stories, but, I don't have a long show today because I have a prior commitment, which I already fucked up with this morning. So, the road to evolution, says Dead Rift, is paved with assholes and dead bodies, probably. But welcome to the 90s, Mr. Bonk. And if you know that movie reference, I'm very impressed by you. Okay, so let's just go to Twitter. Here's how I get most of the news for the show. I know you're dying to see this. It's so exciting. Hey, there's Eddie T. River City Girls 2 is already out, right? Did I miss that? I got to get that. Anyway, I have a list here, and I go to my list, and I have a couple of different topics, but the main one I use is game news. Let's see what's happening. Why Hitman is my favorite trans game. Probably won't talk about that, just given how people get upset. There's the flute guy. Anything breaking? Not really. Not a lot of news as we race into the end of the year. Jaffe going on a Tinder date with a 40-year-old. Where? I'd go on a Tinder date with a 40-year-old. It's out on the 15th, says Carlos. Okay. Hello, legends. I did watch the new trailer for Spider-Verse. Thought it looked pretty good. Xbox says its Activision deal is fair because PlayStation has almost, I'm assuming this is going to say 5 to 60 times more exclusives. It's true. John Wick spinoff. Yeah, there's nothing new. You know what I'm looking forward to? I am well, Joseph Race. Good to see you, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing the Christmas cards from all the game developers and game producers. I love that time of year. Some of them I find super cringe, but some of them I actually like quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to it. Fellas, that has been Gabbing Games for December 13th, 2022. I will be back either on Twitter doing a spaces tonight about weird news stories, or I will be back I might do it on this channel. I haven't decided, or I might be streaming games today. I'll be doing something on the stream because we got this one off early. I'm going to have my nice chat with the folks who make the Pokemon game. And then I'm going to go on a walk, and then I'm going to hang out with the family. And then I'll be back on the internet. Alexa, stop. Then I'll be back on the internet, doing more shenanigans. Alexa, stop. You always got to be nice, though, to your AI people. You do. Watch this. Every day I say this. Alexa, thank you for all you do for me. Right? She's nice. Oh, she says, I hope your Tuesday is going well. I know she's not real, but you may not be real either. So I play it as it lays, baby. Fellas, be well. Mods, thank you. New members, welcome. Super chats, appreciated very, very much. And just in general, thank you guys for hanging out, being with me, spending some time, and rolling into the Christmas season. Be well, everybody. See you soon. Bye, all.